On January 27th, 2024, we are going to have a couple of things going on at the same time in the sky. So the first is Mercury is going to be conjunct with Mars at 16 degrees in Capricorn. So a conjunction is when the two planets, they're meeting up in the sky and they merge and they amplify their energy and the themes that are associated with them. Mercury is thoughts, ideas, communication, travel, and Mars is initiatory, warrior-like, cutting, removing. And Capricorn is the sign of building something slow and steady over a longer period of time in order to create something that's sustainable. Now, this is the third and final successive Mercury-Mars conjunction. So it's an invitation for you to basically put your money where your mouth is and make this strategic Capricorn action and run with this. Mercury and Mars, they're going to be meeting for the third time in the last 3 months. So if you think back to the first time that they met, this was October 19th, 2023 in the sign of Scorpio. So what was going on about in your life at that time about the way that you communicated, cutting and removing things from your life. The second time was with Mercury, and it was in retrograde. It was stationed retrograde at the time, December 27th, 2023. So it was going back over an area of your life where it was cutting, it was removing, and moving forward with some actions. Now, this time, they're going to be meeting in Capricorn, so think of it as third time's a charm. Now, this is a really auspicious transit sequence for moving things forward in your life. The houses in your chart are where you have Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. They're going to reveal the areas of your life that have this focal point to them, this pattern. Pay attention to themes that have surfaced during each of these conjunctions to connect the dots and to see the evolving story play out. Now, I want to add in another layer. We also have Uranus stationing direct at 19 degrees Taurus. Uranus changing directions, it's not your usual Uranus station. Uranus moving direct is going to give you the first glimpses into the themes that are going to be unfolding in the dynamics that are going to emerge for the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction as it perfects in April 2024. So we have this energy of hitting 3 different areas of your life, and then we have Uranus stationing direct, which is going to magnify this energy, and it's leading us up to the big Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in April. Now, Uranus is known as the Great Awakener. It's the planet of liberation. Uranus initiates this liberation by first revealing these things that are holding you back or restricting you. They're stopping you. As Uranus has moved through the sign of Taurus, it has really motivated you with this compelling internal desire for you to seek out change, for you to seek out freedom, particularly regarding your resources and material matters that are in your life. Hi, I'm your astrologer, Patricia Tate, and this is your Mercury-Mars conjunction astrology forecast for all 12 signs. To get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. Now let's dive in. So for Aries Sun and Aries Rising, I want to take you back to the first conjunction occurred in your Scorpio house, which is your 8th house of your shared resources. So there were some things going on with the way that you communicated and cutting and removing resources that you share with either business partners, family members, significant others, clients. The 8th house is the house of shared resources and joint ventures. So it can be also your exes. It's alimony, child support, cash, property. It's also the house where we have these deep conversations about these matters in your life. Then it went on to your 9th house of publishing or legal matters or adventure, foreign people, places, things, cross-cultural experiences, the house of spirituality, and the house of wanting to dive into things and having these prophetic dreams. And it's where you mix and mingle with other people who are have different thoughts and ideas. So it was stationing retrograde, having you go back over some of those topics in your life. Now we have Mars-Mercury conjunction in your 10th house of your career, your legacy, how you want to be known, how you want to be seen, you on a pedestal, authority figures, awards, recognition. And so it's connecting the dots of something that was done and then redone, and then how are you going to use it for your career? This is going to be a focal point of your life of communication, cutting, removing, and going after, initiating things. So pay attention to these these themes that have come through that you need to connect the dots, because it'll unwind or evolve with the story of what is going on with you. Now, we also have Uranus stationing direct. Uranus is in your second house of your self-worth, your cash, your property, your resources. Uranus is known, again, as the Great Awakener. It's the liberator. It initiates liberation. It first reveals what things that need to be removed from your path and what is holding you back and restricting you. And as it's moved through the sign of Taurus, it has really motivated you, saying, I need stability. I need, for my self-worth, my cash, my property, my skill set, my talent, my movable property. All of these topics, Uranus has really been focused on, really been like doubling down on in your life, compelling you to have this desire to seek out change and freedom for your personal security. And so it's about your resources and your material matters. Now, this is in a trine. So with this trine, we have from Uranus to what is going on with Mercury conjunct Mars. This is going to be like a lightning bolt of energy. This is amplified Uranus energy that's restless. So your resources, you being secure, it is about the lines are going to be blurred between anxiety and readiness. I'm ready to do it. Am I ready? Can I move forward? Uranus stationing is going to manifest as in something is going to happen in that area of your life that will directly relate to your career, your job, your legacy, where you want to move forward with. Something that has to do with your life path, authority figures, awards. The 10th house is literally like you at the pinnacle of the top of your chart. So expect unexpected events. Uranus is the unexpected. It occurs throughout this time. It can be very significant, very transformative. It's about breakthroughs. It could be with your resources. It could be with your job, your career. You might find yourself jumping into something new, surprising, having this action of leaping before looking, and in places where you have felt stuck, everything now just all falls into place with this, I got it. This is where I'm going to go, and I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to take the trust fall, or I'm just going to take the leap. So Aries, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Taurus Sun and Taurus Rising, we first had Mercury conjunct Mars in your 7th house of your partnership. So there were areas of your life where you were that dealt with love or contractual agreements or negotiations that had to do with you, a business partner, a significant other, a best friend, enemies, exes, anything that has to do with you and clients. The 7th house is the 1+1 house. It had you talking, negotiating, cutting, removing, and moving forward with what you wanted to initiate in that area of your life. And then we moved forward to December. At the end of December, there was something that you were reviewing because it was retrograde in your 8th house of your shared resources. So this could be anything that had to do with these joint ventures, that had to do with an ex, with alimony, child support, or clients, or it could be family members if there's shared resources of home or money or debt, or it could be your business partner or significant other, anything that has to do, and it could also be a work where if you are dealing with the investments of other people's money. The 8th house is literally the house of shared resources and joint ventures. And so it was stationing retrograde, having to go back over some of these themes and topics. And then we continue the story with Mercury conjunct Mars in your 9th house of freedom, travel, cross-cultural experiences, wanting to take a class, wanting to take a workshop, wanting to go somewhere, to have these interactions with other people, to publish something that has to do with legal matters. It is foreign travel. It's prophetic dreams. It is diving into some type of a religion or a spirituality in order to want to study it and understand it. And so all of these are leading up to what is now happening, what is now a partnership, something that had to do with shared resources together. And now it is you saying, I want to go here. I want to experience this. I want to initiate this. I want to study this. I want to become not just the student, but the teacher. I want to publish this. All of this is creating the focal point of what has led up to this. Now we're going to have Uranus, which is in your first house of self, your identity. Everything that's going on here all circles back to you, or points back to your appearance, your power, your expression, your happiness, your habits, your strength, your personality. It's who you are and who you present to the world. The first house is, I say it's like your business card or your website. It's who people see. It's who you bring to the table, and it's your general temperament, and it's your image, and it's your identity. So all of this is changing who you are. It's leading up to this bigger moment. And so Uranus, known as the Great Awakener, the planet of liberation, there's something that's being liberated that has to do with you. Uranus initiates this liberation of pushing you outside of your comfort zone of who you are. Taurus is just grounded. It's solid. It's stable. It's reliable. It's sensual. And Uranus, as it's been moving through your first house of self, this has been motivating you with these internal desires to seek out change and freedom, and pushing you past your comfort zone into a better, higher version of yourself, because if it doesn't, you wouldn't. And so it's regarding your resources, your material matters, and who you are at the core. Now, it is in a trine with Mars. I love this because it's in a trine. Trines are energy that it's working together. It's amplifying this energy of restlessness. You are saying, I have to do this. I cannot be held back any longer. You're going to feel this feeling of a lightning bolt pushing me toward this excitement of, I'm anxiety. It's kind of blurry. I'm ready to act. I'm ready to go there. I'm ready to move there. I'm ready to connect with these people. I'm ready to take this class. I want to experience this excitement. I'm ready to take the leap. Uranus stationing is going to feel like the final push and drive that you cannot deny. So have in the back of your mind, know that there's going to be these unexpected events that are going to occur at this time that are going to be really significant. They're going to be transformative breakthroughs into who you are and where you want to go, the adventure that you want to seek out, the people that you want to connect up with, the understanding of spirituality or travel. There will be breakthroughs in your resources of how can you get there? How can you study this? How can you learn this? And you might find yourself literally jumping into surprising action that shakes you out of where you have been stuck for the last few months with your identity of breaking through that shell and becoming the new you, with Mars saying, I'm going to cut one more layer away and I'm going to communicate it in a way that's healthy. So Taurus, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Gemini Sun and Gemini Rising, the first time they came together was in the sign of Scorpio, in your 6th house of your daily habits, your health, your well-being, mentors and guides. It's your service to others, of finding a balance between your home and your work. The 6th house is it's alternative health, but it's also staying healthy. And what do I have to do in order to maintain my best mental, physical, spiritual, psychological health and well-being? So Mars and Mercury coming together here was you initiating, you cutting away, you searching out, you doing the things that you needed to do in order to find that guide, that mentor, that doctor, that chiropractor, setting aside time that says, I have to focus on my health and my mind and my body and my well-being. The next time that they met up was in your 7th house of partnership, but it was retrograde. So it was bringing people, places, and things that had to do with where you negotiated contracts. Old friends, okay, so the 7th house is your +1 house. So it's clients, business partners, significant others, your one-on-one relationships. The 7th house is where we have this negotiation and cooperation and promises. And the 7th house is like these contractual relationships that can be written or unwritten. So retrograde had you going back over some of these written and unwritten contracts or negotiations that you'd had with significant people in your life. Now, the 3rd time is going to be with Mercury and Mars in your 8th house of shared resources. So now we're connecting the dots that this will happen in your 8th house of shared resources, of merged contracts that you definitely have with somebody. This can be an ex of alimony and child support, a business partner of your resources and your debt. This could be a significant other, like a marriage partner. The 8th house is joint ventures. It's about taboo topics. It's the house of deep bonding. It's birth, death, and rebirth. And this area of your life is going through a transformation of building something that will be sustainable with your investments over a longer period of time. And so now we have Uranus stationing direct. Uranus is in your 12th house. Worst fears, hidden enemies. It's the secret house of where we go within for and pay attention to our spirit guides, our ancestors, our angels, numbers, songs, finding a feather, dreams, intuition, Akashic records, shamanic work. It's the dark and hidden house where we sit and be alone. We meditate. It's the house of hidden support, but it's also hidden enemies. And so it's you saying, I'm now ready to move forward. I'm ready to release some of these fears. I'm ready to pay attention to what my gut says or what my ancestors say or that intuition or that dream or that thought or that gut feeling. Uranus is known as the Great Awakener. It is awakening this area and liberating you, this area of your life. It is now moving direct. Uranus initiates all types of liberation. It reveals the things that are holding you back. Are your fears holding you back? Are you your own worst enemy? Are your bad habits holding you back? Are they restricting you? As Uranus moves through the sign of Taurus, it's really motivated and compelling you with these internal desires that you want to seek out change and freedom, particularly regarding your resources and material matters. And for you, this is tuning in to your mind, your body, your spirit. Now, at this time, there's going to be this beautiful trine of your intuition, your gut instinct, and everything supporting your 8th house of what is going on with your combined resources. I love this for you because this is you saying, I'm ready to take action. This is amplified Uranian energy that is restless. It's you feeling like the lines between excitement and anxiety are just blurred, and there's this acute readiness inside of your body that says, I'm ready to act. I'm ready to act. And when Uranus stations direct, it will feel like this lightning bolt that says, I have to do this. I have to act on this. I have to do this now. It's about unexpected events that occur throughout this time that can be significant and transformative with these breakthroughs in your shared resources sector of your life, where you might find yourself like jumping into surprising action that literally shakes you out of where you have felt stuck doing things alone. You will now say, this is why. This is everything that's led up to it. This is my aha moment to move forward with. So Gemini, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. For a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Cancer Sun and Cancer Rising, the first time that Mars and Mercury met up, this was in your 5th house of children, creativity, art and music, and where you want to take risks. The fifth house is the house of pleasure and joy. It's what you would do on the weekend or what you want to do on a vacation. It's the house of affairs and excitement and recreation, all types of the ways in which you want to express yourself. So Mars was being initiatory, and Mercury was, how do I communicate this? What do I have to cut and remove? What do I have to do to work with my inner child? Then it went through your sixth house of your daily habits, but it was stationed retrograde. It was saying, how can I create this and make this a part of my daily habits? Do I seek out a mentor? Do I seek out a guide? I need to seek out alternative health and healing opportunities and modalities. And so what does that look like? It's what does my service to others look like? It had you going back over, where are you volunteering too much? The sixth house is also the house of where we volunteer, but where we can become a slave to what we are doing. And we are giving so much that the cup is running dry and you cannot fill it. And so you're having to go back and say, I need healthy boundaries with this. I need to figure out where I can give and where I need to fill my own cup, and where I can take these resources and still bring in joy and pleasure in my everyday life. Then now we have Mars conjunct Mercury in your seventh house. This is like boom, boom, boom. This is the final, like what's going to happen as a result of Mercury, the way that you're communicating, Mars in your seventh house of your 1+1 house. It's your partnership house. It's where you have love and you have these contractual agreements, whether they're written or verbal. It's where we negotiate. It's you with a client, you with a best friend, you with a significant other, as in a partner or a marital partner, or a business partner. It's also the house of open enemies and exes, but this is taking everything that you've done and say, and now I'm ready to focus on these themes. This is going to be the ending. This is going to evolve and finish the story. And then we have Uranus. Uranus is going to be stationing direct. Uranus is in your house of hopes, wishes, dreams, goals, who you align yourself with, whether it be through work activities or pleasure activities like clubs, or where you volunteer. The 11th house is your hopes, your wishes, your aspirations, and the focus is going to be on how do you get these things. And Uranus is the great awakener. It's the liberator. It is time that you focused on your goals, your dreams. Now it's going to be moving forward. Uranus initiates the liberation of where have you been helping everybody else with their goals and not yourself. So pay attention to the themes that are going to be surfacing during this conjunction and see if you can connect the dots to figure out where is the story going to end. Uranus, being known as the liberator, is going to initiate first by revealing what do I own in this? What is holding me back? What is restricting me? And as it moves through the sign of Taurus, it will be compelling these internal desires that you're going to have for you to seek out change and freedom. Your goals do not have to stay the same. They're yours. Switch them, change them, make them for who you are becoming, who you are changing and evolving into. You are not the same person, and it's okay to focus on your resources, your material matters, and what is a focus for you personally. Now, there's this beautiful trine. A trine is when the energy is working with the energy is of one planet is working with the energy of another. I absolutely love this because it's taking this Uranus energy and saying, these are my goals, and my partner, my clients, my friends, you can help me. We can work together. There may be the lines between excitement and anxiety that could be a little bit blurred with this acute readiness of, do I act? Do I not act? What's holding me back? When Uranus stations direct, it's going to feel like a lightning bolt. Uranus is electricity. So think of it as this lightning bolt is going to hit you with, aha, this is what I want to do. These are the people that I need to network with. These are the people that I need to align myself with. And it will be unexpected events that that will occur throughout this trine that will bring about the significant and transformative breakthroughs in your resources of who you are working with, who you are networking with, partnership, and where you feel stuck, and where you now can be jumping into like surprising action, being motivated or pushed or driven out of a place where you have felt stuck in the past. So, Cancer, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. For a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Leo Sun and Leo Rising, the first time that they conjoined together was initiating change, and the way that you were going to be communicating it had to do with your family, your home, your roots, your foundation, people that feel like family. It could also have to do with traditions or ancestors or genealogy. It literally is at the base of who you are. It can be real estate and property, or landscape, or like think of it as the basement of who you are. So there was something first that was initiated, and then it went through and conjoined, but in retrograde in your 5th house of children, affairs, pleasure, joy, creativity, your inner child, art and romance and recreation, things that you like to do for joy and pleasure, and things that you would like to do on the weekend. And it had you going back over, I need to tap into my inner child. This could be children moving back into your home, or it could be tapping into your inner child. But there was something that happened at the end of December that had you going back over some of these topics. And then the third, tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row, now we have Mercury and Mars together in your 6th house. The 6th house for you is your daily habits of creating something that has to be for your self-care, for alternative health, your mental, your physical, your spiritual, your health, your well-being, finding a mentor, finding a guide, finding a balance between your home and your work life. The 6th house is your relationship with your coworkers. It also includes pets, so I'm going to throw that out there, but I think it has more to do with home and work, because we are going from the 4th to 5th into your 6th. The 6th is your finding alternative health and healing, self-care opportunities, and connecting with other people in order to be your best good. Now, as this is going on, this is going to be the focal point. Like, this is the end of what has been going on, that had to do with your home and tapping into your inner child, or something that had to do with your children. Or the 5th house is also like love affairs and taking risks. Now we have Uranus. Uranus is going to be stationing direct. I love this for you because Uranus is at the top of your chart. It's your career, it's your legacy, it is awards, it's authority figures. The 10th house is your public life, it is your professional life, it's your ambitions, it's your reputation. Think of it as you are on a pedestal. So if the 4th house is the basement, the 10th house is the attic. It's the pinnacle. It's the top. Uranus now stationing direct is the Great Awakener, something that has to do with your career, your legacy, your job, authority figures, accolades. I love this. Uranus being known as the Great Awakener is also the planet of liberation. It's about moving you forward and liberating you from what is holding you back. First, Uranus goes through and it reveals the things that are restricting you. And so as you look at this, Uranus is going to be, it's been moving through your 10th house of your career, or authority figures, or like things that you want to, your reputation, your ambitions. And it's going to reveal the themes that are like holding you back. And then it's about motivating you. It's compelling you to you have this internal desire that you seek out change and freedom, particularly regarding your resources, your cash, your property, and your material matters. And then when Mars and Mercury conjunct, and this Uranus happens at the same time, I want you to think of this as a lightning bolt, something that has to do with the top of your chart, your career and all that. This is a trine. And so Uranus stationing might feel like this lightning bolt of, yes, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. These unexpected events throughout this time can bring this significant transformative breakthroughs in your resources. And you might find yourself like literally jumping into this surprising action and shaking you out of, where did you feel stuck? Where did you want to move forward and you just didn't have Uranus to push you? And so these two houses are now going to be working together with everything that you've cut out of your life and moved forward with a better way to communicate and the wisdom and the knowledge. And then as soon as Uranus initiates this liberation, this is leading up for the great conjunction that's going to happen later on. All right, so for Leo, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. And if you would like a private consultation, you can do that at willowgracemystic.com. To get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Virgo Sun and Virgo Rising, the first time that Mercury and Mars met up, it was in your third house of communication. The third house is all types of communication, being innovative with travel, with your siblings, your neighbors, taking classes and workshops, things that are close to home. The third house has to do with all types of ways that you talk and exchange ideas and use technology with travel. Then the second time was with your fourth house of your home, your family, your roots, your foundation, your traditions, but it was retrograde. So it had you going back over, well, what is home to me? Well, what are traditions to me? What does this mean to me? These people that have shaped me, either family members being blood or like soul family. And so the fourth house had you going back over your real estate, your property, your traditions, and saying, what is this? And where am I going with this? And how important is this? And why is this changing? Why is this evolving? Why am I being pushed out of my comfort zone to change some things in my life? Then the third and final will be Mars and Mercury in your fifth house of children and joy and creativity. So you started off with different ways of communication and travel, and then you were going back over some things that had to do with home. And so the final conjunction is going to be connecting the dots to this evolving story that either has to do with you tapping into your inner child or your children, or tapping into creative projects, or where you want to take risks. The fifth house is where we gamble, or where we have excitement, or where we look for adult friends, adult playmates, where we search out hobbies. It's the house of giving birth, but it's not just of children. It's what do I want to give birth to? Now we're going to add in another layer, and that is going to be of Uranus. Uranus is going to be stationing direct, and Uranus is in your ninth house of travel, cross-cultural experiences, adventure, foreign people, places, and things where you need this liberation of. Uranus being known as the Great Awakener or the planet of liberation, it initiates liberation by first revealing what's holding you back, what is restricting you, and it goes in and it removes those things. It makes it so you cannot go back to the way things were. And as Uranus has moved through Taurus, this has finally motivated you to have this compelling internal desire for you to seek out the change, for you to seek out the freedom, to not work from a space of fear, but to initiate it, particularly regarding your resources and material matters. And so there's going to be this trine between Uranus and this Mercury-Mars conjunction. A trine is when the planets are working together, and it's going to amplify this Uranian energy of restlessness. I have to do this. I have to make this happen. I have to create this. I have to travel there. You may feel like the lines between your excitement and your anxiety, they're like blurred, and you're going to have this acute readiness to act of ready, set, go. I know I'm moving towards something. I just don't know what that something is yet, because that'll come at the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction later on. Uranus stationing may manifest like this lightning bolt that comes in your life and says, this is it. It's like this aha moment. Unexpected events that will occur throughout this time, they can bring this significant transformation and these breakthroughs in your resources of where you may have felt like stuck or things holding you back. And now that you find yourself jumping in and saying, I'm going to do the trust fall. I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to dive in and let things shake out wherever I have felt stuck. And Mars is just going to cut and remove things from your way. And Uranus is going to be like a pin poking you from behind saying, just jump, just do it. All right, so Virgo, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. For a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Libra Sun and Libra Rising, the first time the Mars and the planet Mars and Mercury came together, this was in your second house of self-worth, cash, property, your resources of what you need in order to help you feel safe and secure. It's about your money and your finances, your skill set. It's what you bring to the table, your self-esteem, your financial condition. It's people, places, and things that you value very closely that you want to keep with you to feel secure. The second time the conjunction occurred was in your third house of communication, neighbors, siblings, cousins, taking classes and workshops, but it was retrograde, having you go back over those topics in your life. And so it's leading you up to this last one. The last one has to do with your family, your home, your roots, your foundation. The fourth house has to do with your ancestors. It has to do with your real estate, your property, your traditions. It has to do with anything that has to that represents either people that you share a past with, or people that live in your home, or those people that have shaped you with who you are. And it's like the traditions that have been brought in, or the people that have made you or created who you are in the habits of who you are today. And so Mars, cutting, removing, and initiating, plowing through, like cutting through, and Mercury, thoughts and ideas and technology. And so this is connecting the dots of why have you gone through these challenges? Why have you gone through these changes? We also have Uranus stationing direct at the same time. So we have Uranus. Uranus is in your 8th house of shared resources. Now, Uranus, also known as the Great Awakener, it's the planet of liberation. And the 8th house is anything that you share with other people. It's your resources, or it's your joint ventures. So it can be alimony or child support if it's an ex. It can be family member if you share property or debt or taxes. It could be a business partner or a significant other. It's the house of birth, death, rebirth, transformation, and these resources that you are linked with somebody else with. Now, Uranus being here has initiated this liberation of freeing you and revealing some of these things that have been restricting you and holding you back. As Uranus has moved through the sign of Taurus, it has really motivated you, compelling you with this internal desire that you seek out change and freedom, complete liberation, particularly regarding your resources and your material matters as you move forward. Now, at this time, Uranus is going to be in trine to something that has to go, something that's going on with your home. This Mars-Mercury conjunction. A trine is when the planets are working together. It's about offering this energy and amplifying this energy. So you might feel like these lines between excitement and anxiety, and there's this blurred and acute readiness of, I'm ready to act. It's now is the time. I feel like it's getting closer. This Uranus station is probably going to feel more like a lightning bolt in your life of, I have to do this, and I have to do this now. There could be these unexpected events that are occurring with these resources that you share with other people, and things that have to do with your personal home that can bring about these significant and transformative breakthroughs in your personal resources, where you might find yourself jumping into surprising action and just saying, no, this is what I have to do. It's now or never. And this is it. And it's where you have felt stuck and where you now need to move forward for your best and highest good. This is leading up to the actual Uranus-Jupiter conjunction. And so this is going to be a liberating moment that's moving you forward for the actual, the bigger event that's cutting and removing and pushing you into liberation of that area of your life. So for Libra, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. For a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Scorpio Sun and Scorpio Rising, this first occurred in your first house of self. So this had everything to do with your personality, your identity. It had to do with your strength, your habits, what you wanted to create, what you wanted to do, your demeanor. I always say that the first house is like your business card or it's your website. It's how people see you. So the first time that Mars and Mercury met up, it was cutting and removing of some things that had to do with you. It could have been bad habits. It could have been about losing weight. It could have been about something that you desired or your interests. It literally was cutting, removing, and communicating in a better way to transform who you are. The second time Mars and Mercury met up was in your second house of your self-worth, your cash, your property, things that you need in order to help you feel secure. This is your resources, your skill set. It would have been your financial condition, but it was retrograde. It had you going back over those areas of your life of what do you really need? What's the bare minimum? Going back over your money, the things that you value, the people that you value, and saying, what do I really need in order to feel safe and secure in right now? Now, this third time is the Mercury-Mars conjunction is in your third house of communication. The third house represents your relationship with your siblings, your neighbors, how you communicate. It's technology. It's taking classes or workshops and travel. And it's about creating something that is sustainable over a longer period of time. So the third house has to do with short journeys. It's how you communicate with people from work. And it's how you talk and exchange and get your ideas either on paper, on computer, or out there into the outside world, and how you get information. So it could be through podcasts or like emails or letter, like all technology. So just know that it's technology and it's travel. And so there's this evolving story about connecting first yourself, then your self-worth, and now with the way that you're going to communicate. Now, Uranus is going to also be stationing direct, and Uranus is in your partnership sector. It is the 1+1 house. Uranus, the seventh house is you with a business partner, you with a marital partner, a best friend, clients. It's also open enemies and exes. It's the house of love and contractual agreements, and where we negotiate and where we have these written and unwritten contracts and promises to other people. And so Uranus, being known as the Great Awakener, has really shaken up that area of your life, and it's not done. So now it's moving forward. And so Uranus is going to initiate this liberation by revealing these things that are holding you back, these people, these contracts, these negotiations that you've had, whether they're business contracts or marital or friendship. Uranus moving through the sign of Taurus is really going to be motivating you to this inner desire that you're going to be seeking out freedom and change, and especially regarding your own resources and your own material matters. This is saying, I have to liberate myself. I have to do this. And now that it's moving direct, it is now in a trine. So a trine is when the planets work together. And so we have Uranus, something to do with partnership, is going to be saying, I am willing to, I have this restlessness. I want to work with you. I want to liberate you in this area of your life. It's amplified energy that there's this blurred lines between, is this excitement or is this anxiety? And it's a blurred feeling of, I'm ready to act. I'm ready to do this. Uranus stationing may feel like a lightning bolt because Uranus is electric. It's electricity. So think about an electric lightning, a lightning bolt just like hitting you and saying, no, I have to do this. This is now or never. Unexpected events that throughout this time can bring about these significant transformations in your life and breakthroughs in your resources, where you might find yourself where you are jumping, like literally leaping into surprising action and shaking out of where you have felt stuck or held back. And so it's about movement, and it's about the universe working with you in order to help move you out of where you are stuck. So Scorpio, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. For more, please check out, join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. For a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com, and to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Sagittarius Sun and Sagittarius Rising, the first time this conjunction happened, it happened in your 12th house. The 12th house is the house of self-sabotage. It's fear, it's isolation, it's tapping into our dreams and our intuition. It's tapping into the Akashic records, the shamanic realm. It is prisons and institutions and hospitalizations. It's literally where we go to sit, think, meditate, and get our answers from another realm or from inside to move forward with. And so angels, guides. So the first time Mars was with Mercury, tapping into your own intuition, tapping into your inner thoughts and ideas and your, whatever you call your gut instinct or a skill set, an intuition, a feeling. Then the second time was through your first house of self. Now, the first house represents your appearance, your self-expression. It is your strength, your habits. It's who you present to the world because it changed you. Like, am I hearing things? Is my gut talking to me? Is my intuition speaking to me? Can this really be real? Did I really have that dream? Does this make sense? Now, when Mercury and Mars connected up in your first house of self, it was retrograde. And so it was having you review some of these topics of who you were, because who you were is now changing. You cannot unring the bell with what you know, with what you feel, with what you see. And so it's now pointing towards the new focal point of your life, connecting the dots to where is the story leading. Well, it has you focused on your self-worth, your cash, your property, your resources, of what do you need in order to feel secure. The second house is your movable property. It's your real estate, your salary, your income. It's your work ethic, but it's about people, places, and things that you value, that you need to keep with you or close to you in order for you to feel secure. And so who do you trust? How much do you trust? And what resources are the most important to you? During this time, Uranus is going to be stationing direct. Like this is at the same time. Uranus is in your 6th house of your daily habits, your mental, physical, spiritual, psychological, health, well-being, seeking out a counselor or a mentor or a chiropractor, somebody who can help work with your diet, your nutrition, your daily needs in order to take care of the temple, in order for you to tap into what is going on. Like it's about nutrition, and it's about yoga and meditation. And so Uranus stationing direct it's the Great Awakener. This is the time of liberation. The Uranus is in your 6th house of your balance between your home and your work, and so liberating you, initiating liberation by first revealing, what are you doing that's making yourself sick? What are you doing are you self-sabotaging? Are you your worst enemy? What are you doing that's restricting you? What are you doing that's holding you back? Are you focused on your best and highest good for eating healthy food, exercising, getting enough rest, seeking out like-minded individuals, finding a balance between your home and your work? Are you, the 6th house has to do with taking care of yourself, but also finding people that can support you in taking care of those needs. And so as Uranus is moving through this house, it's motivating you and compelling you to have this internal desire that I have to seek out change. I have to seek out freedom, because what I've been doing is not for my best and highest good. This is in regards to your resources, your material matters. This is everything to do with you moving forward for your best and highest good, for your health and your well-being. Now, there is this beautiful trine. I absolutely love this, because a trine is when the two planets are in the same sign. They're both in the Earth sign, and they're working together to build something that is sustainable. So knowing that Uranus is moving through here, saying you need a change, you need freedom for your self-worth, for your property, for your cash, for your skill set. This is about restless energy. You're going to feel the lines between anxiety and excitement, and everything is blurred, and I'm ready to act. And then when this station happens, it can manifest like lightning, because Uranus is electric. And so think about a lightning bolt just striking from one to another and initiating this change. So expect these unexpected events to occur throughout this time that are going to be very significant and transformative in their breakthroughs in your resource sector, in your health sector, something that involves you just saying, I got it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Jumping right in with surprising action, and then letting things shake out where you have felt stuck. It's moving you into a new direction of, maybe I could use this for my self-care. Maybe I could make money from this. Maybe I don't need these resources. Maybe these things are making me sick. All of these topics can be revealed at this time. And then the ultimate is when the Jupiter and Uranus will conjunct together. All right, so Sagittarius, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. For a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Capricorn Sun and Capricorn Rising, the very first time we had this conjunction, it happened in your 11th house of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, who you align yourself with. And so it had you initiating some change with, what are my goals? Who do I want to align with? What do I want to do? How can I move forward? How do I communicate this? What needs to go to the wayside? Then the second time was your 12th house. The 12th house has to do with dreams and psychic ability, and it is angels and guides. It's the house of isolation, and it could be hospitalization or affliction, intuition, Akashic records, meditation, all dream work. And it's also the house of self-sabotage and Mercury, and it was retrograde at this time. So it had you going back over, what are your fears? What's going on with you that you need to like release this generational trauma or release your fears of things that are going on right now? Pay attention to your intuition, that gut instinct. Pay attention to what your guides or your angels or the spiritual realm is trying to teach you, whether it be through the feeling in your body or the synchronistic, like hearing a song or finding a feather or a coin or the numbers. Now, the third and final, so think of it as tic-tac-toe, this is what it's leading up to, is changing you. This is in your first house of self, your identity, your body, your personality, your habits, your happiness, your self-expression. It's creating a better you, cutting away things that have to do with the old you. Mercury is communicating everything that has to do with you. The first house is your like your business card or your website of cutting away your bad habits, your flaws, and presenting this is who I am and this is what I want to become. Now, at the same time, we have Uranus stationing direct. Now, Uranus is known as the Great Awakener. It is the planet of liberation. It's about initiating liberation by first revealing where things have been holding you back and restricting you. And so this is in your fifth house of children, fun, joy, creativity, art, music, where you take risks. And so as Uranus is moving through the sign of Taurus, this has you motivated with this compelling internal desire for you to seek out change, to tap into your inner child, for you to look for some freedom that either has to do with like giving birth to something, and it doesn't have to be like a child, but it could be your children, or it could be liberating your children, or it could be creating something that has to do with music or a project. Something that that's in regards to your resources and your material matters. Now, at this time, there's going to be a trine between Uranus and your first house of self. I love this because a trine is when you have two planets in the same this is in the same element of Earth. And so we have this stable but rock your world in order to create something that is stronger and will last over a longer period of time. And so this amplified Uranian energy is going to feel restless. It's about you feeling like these lines between excitement and anxiety, and everything is going to be all blurred, and there's going to be this acute readiness to like, I need to act, I need to jump on this, I need to do this. The fifth house is where you take risks. It's the house of pleasure and fun and enjoyment. And this Uranus station may manifest like a lightning bolt, has just, aha, I get it. Uranus is electric. And so think of as like being struck by it and say, I get it. These unexpected events that are going to occur throughout this time can bring these significant and transformative breakthroughs with your resources, creativity, children, where you're ready to take risks, all about you, changing who you are. And you may find yourself like literally jumping into surprising action, just saying, I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to do the trust fall. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm just going to make this happen in a place where you've felt stuck so you can be unstuck. This is leading up to the actual Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, and it's just going to be one more piece of the puzzle. So Capricorn, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com, and to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Aquarius Sun and Aquarius Rising, the first time that Mars and Mercury met up was in your 10th house of your career, your job, your legacy, authority figures, accolades. It's the house of, like, think about it as you up on a pedestal. The 10th house is your career path. It's your reputation. It is you being seen as a professional in the outside world. And so Mars and Mercury together is cutting away and communicating with those people, those topics in your life. The second time it happened was in your your 11th house of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, and who you align yourself up with in order to manifest these things in your life. It's about people that you share beliefs with or that you work with through networking. Now, it was retrograde. And so this was you saying, oh, does this still resonate with me? Does this group still resonate with me? Have I reached that goal? Do I need to finish that goal? Do I want to have a new goal? Do I want to fine tune and tweak that goal? Those were the topics that you were working with or working through. The third time is going to be Mars and Mercury in your 12th house. The 12th house it's hidden. It's dark. It's where we go to sit and isolate. It's the house of prisons and institutions and hospitalizations. It's also hidden support. It's dreams. It's the Akashic records. It's the psychic realm. It's angels and guides and their ancestors. It's tapping into your dreams. It's tapping into shamanic work and saying, I need to cut away my fears. I need to not be my own worst enemy. Like, this is the house of self-sabotage. I need to tap into what it is. What is my skill set? I need to acknowledge these things about myself. I need to break away from generational trauma or to release myself from trauma that I feel in this lifetime currently now, that either family has, like the way that I was raised, or the way that I have conditioned myself in relationships and not had healthy boundaries. Now, Uranus is also going to be stationing direct on the same day. So this will have something to do with your home, your family, your roots, your traditions. People who have felt like family, or those people who have shaped you, or ancestors. And this has a lot to do with traditions and things that have been brought in from like one generation to another. Now, Uranus is the great awakener, and it's the planet of liberation. And Uranus first initiates the liberation by revealing, showing you the things that are restricting you, something from your home, something from family, traditions, with parents. As Uranus moves through the sign of Taurus, it really is going to be motivating you with this compelling internal desire that you're going to be seeking out change and freedom of something that has to do with your home, particularly regarding your resources and your personal material matters. Now, the great part about this is that this is trine. A trine is when you have two planets in the same element, and this is an earth element. Taurus is solid and stable, doesn't want to change, but Uranus is there. Capricorn is, I need to build something that will last over a longer period of time. And so you have this amplified Uranian energy of restlessness, of where you feel the lines between excitement and anxiety, of I want to do this. Oh my gosh, I'm working from fear. Oh, how do I get through this? I have this readiness. I'm ready to act. This Uranus energy, Uranus is electric. So think about a lightning bolt and think that it could feel like this lightning bolt is affecting your life and like zapping you with these unexpected events that occur throughout this time that can bring these significant changes and these breakthroughs in your resources, and where you might have found yourself stuck or jumping into something with surprising action and shaking up where you have felt stuck, and you're ready to now move forward with change, knowing that I'm ready to leave that behind me. I'm ready to stop working from fear and being my own worst enemy, and this generational stuff. I'm ready to create my own, and I got this. So Aquarius, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me Tuesdays live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. For a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they are released, please subscribe. So for Pisces Sun and Pisces Rising, this first occurred, the first Mars-Mercury conjunction occurred in your 11th, or I'm sorry, your 9th house of adventure. cross-cultural experiences. I want to go there. I want to study that. I want to have this published. I want to dive into something that has to do with legal matters. I want to have these experiences. I want to take that class, take that workshop. I want to teach that class. The ninth house is everything that's foreign people, places, and things. It's also where we take the deep dive. We dive into spirituality. We dive into religion. We want to understand things. And it's the house of prophetic dreams and visions. And so Mars and Mercury, this is when it first occurred of let's cut away some things, let's communicate, let's take this class, let's take this workshop. I want to go there. Let's make that plan. The second time Mercury and Mars were conjunct, it had to do with your career, your job, your legacy, authority figures. It had to do with your life path. It had to do with your reputation. It had to do everything with your ambitions and where you want to make your mark on society. But it was retrograde. So it had you reviewing, how important is this? Where do I go with this job? Is this job that important? What about these people? You being the boss or having an authority figure over top of you. It literally had you going back over, cutting and removing, and focusing on your goals of what do you want to do to move forward with. And then the third time, remember, third time's a charm. Now, Mercury is conjunct Mars in your 11th house of new hopes, wishes, dreams, goals, and aspirations. There was something that was initiated when it happened in the sign of Scorpio, like back in November. And then this whole December was like rethinking things. And now we're in end of January, and now it's like, these are my new goals. I've changed my focus. I've shifted where I want to volunteer. I've shifted who I want to collaborate with. These are my hopes, my dreams. The 11th house is your connection to kindred spirits and to peers. And so now you are initiating new to you, and you're communicating how that's going to happen. It's going to reveal this area of your life that's now a new focal point. So pay attention to the themes that have surfaced during each one of these conjunctions, that you can connect the dots to see this evolving story as it plays out. Now, we also have Uranus stationing direct. Uranus is in your third house of communication. It's taking classes or workshops. It's all types of communication. Uranus is the great awakener. It is known as the planet of liberation. Uranus initiates liberation by first revealing where things are holding you back and restricting you. And so is this with family? Is this with your third house is siblings and your relationship with your neighbors and the way that you communicate? It's the third house is technology and communication, and where you talk and exchange ideas with others, whether it be with neighbors or with people that you work with. But the third house is writing and spirituality and technology and short distance travel. And so there's going to be this identifying what's restricting you, what's holding you back. Now that it's moving through the sign of Taurus and it's moving forward, it's really going to motivate you with this compelling internal desire for you to seek out change and freedom in your life, particularly regarding your resources, your material matters, and the way that you use technology, the way that you travel, the way that you use, the way that you speak and share ideas. Now, there is this beautiful trine. I love this for you because Uranus is going to be trine to Mercury in Jupiter. So a trine is when you have two planets that are in the same earth or in the same element, and this happens to be an earth element. So you have Taurus being very solid and stable, and Uranus saying let's shake this area of our life up, and Capricorn is like the mountain, build it so it'll last over a longer period of time. So pick the goals that can last over a longer period of time, and how can I communicate that? There's going to feel this moment of excitement and anxiety, and it's going to be blurred with being ready to act. Uranus being electric, I want you to think of it as manifesting as like a lightning bolt and having these unexpected events that occur at this time that can really bring these significant and transformative breakthroughs in your house of resources, communication, your goals, your networks, and that you might find yourself jumping into like action, taking a trust fall, closing your eyes, or leaping before you're looking. And it's about shaking up where you have felt stuck in order for you to move forward. So Pisces, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer new moon and full moon astrology consultations. To get a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe.